Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcomes you to my series Learn Radiology with Dr. Anil Joshi. The topic of today's lecture is based on the radio physics. Since the topic was vast, we had divided into two portions, part 1 and part 2. In part 1, we have covered the historical aspect, how the films constitutes, what is the emulsion of the film, what are the base of the film, what is the developing process, what is a rinsing, what is fixing, what is washing, drying, what are the chemical fogs, what are the heating effects, etc. Now, in the part 2, we are going to see more regarding the darkroom designing, automatic processor, and some more aspects of it. So let's go. Now this part includes automatic processor, darkroom constructions, health and safety process in working area. In this we are going to cover safety aspect as far as darkroom is concerned, and we are not going in details of the radiation safety, for which a separate video is produced. Now this full lecture series of today, in this topic, radio physics, the technologist, the imaging technology graduates, that is MIT medical imaging technologies, so also to the technicians to know what they are doing in a best way, how to do it by knowing the basics of it. So we'll be covering basics of all these things for these technologists. So also even a radiologist should know it briefly, so that the guidance can be given to the associated or assistant staff. Now the disclosures and acknowledgement and disclaimers. Most of the material used here is our teaching material regularly from the department, and while taking the classes, it has been going on for many years. Now, as far as possible, we have taken care to see that there are no royalties or there are no payment aspect, the financial aspect associated with all these things. But however, still the certain material has been downloaded from the net, which is royalty free, and we acknowledge those whose material it is, though we do not have any direct information about the sources. Now in this part we are going to see how a developing fixing takes place. Manually we have seen, or will be seeing also once again, but initially first let us take a automatic processor. Why automatic processor? It was taking a small place. It was reducing the messiness, wetness of the dark area. Now certain part of the automatic processor can be inside a dark room, that is a feeding portion, and the another portion can be outside. Such type of automatic processor are also available. So also automatic processor which totally work in the dark room. Now they consume less space, they have consistent quality, they give results quickly, and therefore they are preferred in most of the busy centers. Now automatic processor, the basic is same. It has got developer, rinser, fixer, water and dryer. However, whatever is done manually is done in automatic processor by the rollers. So once the film is fed, it is carried by the rollers and it is taken into developer, then into the fixer. Here there is no rinser in automatic processor, directly it goes to the fixer, then into wash and then into dryer. Therefore, the process in the automatic processor has got more uniformity, since the roller squeezes and every time they change the material in contact with the film, the developing quality is also good. Now they are connected with a auto feed of developer and fixer, that is the replenisher to be precise, and therefore the accurate maintenance of quality is possible with automatic processor. Now this is a top view which shows you about the steps or constituents. Now let's see what are the 4 steps of processing. One thing is developing, that is formation of the image. which type of image is a latent image. Now in developing, we form a latent image. Ultimately, it is converted into a whatever we see visibly, that is the real image. Now in this process, then it is then put into the fixer. Now what fixer does is, it stops the development process, then permanent fixing the image on the film. So whatever latent image then form into the temporary image gets fixed up, and it remains as it is for many years. So that is the role of a fixer. The washing, it removes the residual chemicals over the film, and drying is because the film should be dried for storage properly or carrying them properly. Now, system of the automatic processor. The film, the feed section, that is the part 1, that is usually in the dark room, or sometimes the full automatic processor is in the dark room. But definitely film feeding section needs a dark room. Now second is transportation system by the rollers. Now third is temperature control system, and fourth is recirculation of the system. Fifth is replenishment of the system and dryer system, and last is the electric system. Now the film feed sections, as the name implies, the film is fed into the processor so that the cycle of events listed below are initiated. The driver motor energizes, that is to turn the rollers and set light above the feed area extinguished. Now developer and fixer replenisher are pumped into the tank, so level is maintained. The dryer is heated and energized. Wash water start flowing, then film signal delay timer activated. That audio signals are there which can tell you whether the process is delayed, accelerated, is not proper, or there is some malfunctioning. Now 1 to 3 seconds after the trailing edge of the film has been passed the entry roller to let the operator know, they will let you know when to put the second film. Now once one film is on the roller, till it passes to the next stage, the second film should not come. So that is done by the help of a audible signal, that is a beep, so that you can put the second film. Now the film transportation sections, a system of rollers that moves the film through the developer, fixer, washing and drying sections of the processor. Also acts as a squeeze action to remove the excess chemicals from the film. So the distance between the two rollers are not much, only film can accommodate. It squeezes the solutions from the film when it passes or goes out from the developer to fixer, and from fixer to the dryer, or from the dryer from fixer to the water. Then it gets washed and then it goes into the dryer. Now, makeup of the transport system. Entrance roller or detector roller, then vertical or deep racks, that is transportation rack, crossover assembly and squeeze assembly. Now it is shown in this in a section, that is the cross section of a automatic processor. Now entrance roller grab the film and draw it into the developer. The entrance roller separate slightly, film passes between the roller, activating micro switches controlling replenishment of the chemicals. So that will maintain the level also and the adequate concentration of the chemicals also. When the film is completely in the developer tank, the bell ring or the light flicks on the safe to turn the light on. So that will give you the idea that film has crossed the developer tank, and till this process is there, the light is off or it is a dark room. Now vertical or deep racks. Now it moves film into HU solutions and dryer. Uses a turnaround assembly that the bottom of the tank to the turn film directions upwards. Now crossover assemblies. Moves the film from developer to the fixer tank and from the fixer to the wash tanks. Forces solutions from the film back into the tank it is coming from. So not much level drop occurs. Now squeeze assembly moves the film from the wash tank to the dryer. Squeezes action removes the excess water from the film or any excess chemicals when it is crossing from the developer. Transport system. As you are seeing that there are rollers. And there is a squeezing assembly to remove the chemicals and water. And there are some tanks which feed and keeps the level of developer and fixer. Now water system. The function is to wash the film and control the temperature. Now washing removes the last traces of processing chemicals. Washing, repeat of the slide. Washing removes the last trace of the processing chemicals and prevents fading or discoloration. This enables long-term storage and capability. The film remains in same ways. Now this gives you the processing versus the temperature. Developer temperature is 35, fixer 35, wash 32 to 35. Dryer has got higher temperature and it has got dry air. So it is at 57 degrees. Now circulation or recirculation or filtration system. So these are the three different systems. Agitation of the developer solution removes the reaction particles by the use of filtration system, helps stabilize developer temperature. Agitation and circulation is maintained properly. Agitation keeps solution in a contact with the heater element in the bottom of the rag and prevents layering of the chemicals. So this is all the functions of circulation, how it takes place, and recirculation and filtration. It maintains the developer temperature. Heating element is controlled by a thermostat. So it regulates it and it sees that the temperature is properly maintained. Then recirculation system. Now role of recirculation is to maintain proper levels. Is controlled by recirculation pumps that agitate solution to keep them mixed to maintain constant temperature. And circulation of water requires to wash residual fixers. Now, replenishment system. Fixer and developer levels drop as the film processes. As we have already seen that when films are passing, developer receives a dry film and lets out a wet film. So some water and chemical goes with the film. Now, system replaces lost chemicals. So whatever are the chemicals which are drained with the film are re-put. They are with the help of pump, they are put into the respective tank and the levels are maintained. Micro switch of the entrance roller starts replenishment pump and stops when the film exits and enters the roller. So this is all in automatic process. This is a replenishment system. A typical replenishment system 60 to 70 ml of the developer and 100 to 110 ml of fixer for every 14-inch X-ray film. It's a approximation, but somehow it works. Now, types of the replenishment are the volume replenishment. A volume of chemicals are replaced for each film that is in process. Then, flood replenishment periodically replenishes chemicals regardless of the number of films reseeded. So they go back to the main tank. Now, dryer system. Dryers. In dryer, the film before it is removed for viewing needs to be properly dried because all the process is a wet processing. So dryer receives a wet film and puts on a dry film. If not dry, it is difficult to hang on the viewing box. Consistent of blower, it consists of blower, ventilation ducts, ventilated dryer tubes, and exhaust system. These are the constituents of the dryer system. For a very simple principle, it works on a dry, hot air. So that should be circulated. Blower draws in air from room and passes it over heating coils. Then heated air enters when ventilation ducts and dryers tube and then blows over the film. then moist warm air is ventilated out. Now this is the process. Approximate time it gives: developer, fixer, washer, dryer, travel time and total time. So it is significantly reduced as compared to the manual processing. The amount of time it takes a film to go through the processor ranges from 45 to 210 seconds, and that can be set manually on the automatic processor. Now, film manufacturers determine temperature and replenishment, and often it is done once the first film comes out. You can view a film and find out where the processing time is required more or less. Then daylight automatic processor. This is like development of the automatic processor where the at least feeding it has to be in a dark room, but there are dryers which are totally in a daylight, so they don't need dark room. This enables film to be processed without need for a darkness. Now, special cassettes are there for it. It increases departmental efficiency. No need for special darkroom staff. The disadvantage is its cost and mechanical breakdowns. It has got more moving parts and more mechanical problems. So automatic processor benefits: it is in compact size, faster, density and contrast is constant, time and temperature is controlled, and it produces dry radiograph immediately, which can be either dispatched, stored or reported. Now, automatic processing disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? Now, artifact caused by the rollers. Expensive and requires maintenance. Manual processing requires a backup in case of breakdown. So you need a more maintenance cost and frequent breakdown. Now, maintenance to maintain quality, attention, following three things are required, or in the following three areas we concentrate. That is the quality control, processor cleanliness and basic operations. Now this is the darkroom constructions. Now we are coming to how a darkroom should be. Now darkroom has to be a dark. There is a safe light, but by and large it should be dark. Now we need to put cassette inside which are exposed and get out the cassette which are freshly faded. Now for that, the location of the darkroom needs to be centrally placed. So if we have got around 3 to 4 radiography rooms, it is centrally placed, and in most of the two sides of the darkroom there are pass boxes, or there can be a light trap. Now should be centrally located, served by patches from the adjacent imaging room, then away from damp or hot areas, accessible in terms of power and water supply, and adjoining viewing rooms. Now size: minimum floor area of 10 square meter, then ceiling height of 2.5 to 3 meters. Size may be reduced depending upon the departmental need. Now we'll come to the radiation protection and protection required in a dark room. Now radiation protection. Wall adjacent to radiographic room should be shielded with the concrete thickness of lead or the way up to the ceiling. In the interest of both darkroom staff and the film material kept in the darkroom, 1.6 mm lead is mostly used. So either 9-inch of concrete or 1.6 mm of lead is recommended in a darkroom where the staff is working and then where the films are. Now floors. Non-porous flooring, non-slip or non-skidding flooring, then chemical resistant, stain proof, because chemical they do stain and they do spill over, durable and easy to maintain, and light colored, allows light working conditions. Then the tiles which are resistant to chemical, that is either porcelain or asphalt tiles are used. Sometimes clay tiles are also used, and plastic tiles may be used in dark room where there is more seepage of water. Now walls or ceiling. Light in color to the reflect as much as light as possible to enable working surfaces, easy to wipe or clean. Wall should be easy to clean. Then there should be a reflection so that they will be visible in a safe light. Now, special paints, varnishes, ceramic and plastic coating of the wall are available. Now, ventilation and heating. Satisfactory working condition for the staff, good film handling and storage of conditions, efficient automatic processor performance, relatively humidity is maintained at around 40 to 60 degrees, room temperature maintained between 18 to 20 degrees, a minimum of 10 air changes per hour. That means full volume of the dark room air should be replaced at least 10 times in the hour. That is achieved with the help of exhaust fans. All of those conditions can be achieved by using a good air conditioning system. Air conditioning system can recirculate the air, so also it can take fresh air from outside and put the cold air inside. Alternatively, freshly satisfactory ventilation can be achieved by using an extractor fan, that is what we call as an exhaust fan, higher than and diagonally opposite a second fan. So two can be achieved. The latter being so placed so that obtain fresh air and filter air from outside. So how it is achieved? Fresh air by the air conditioning. Air conditioning has got a system by which it can pull the fresh air from outside, also with the help of exhaust fans. The exhaust fan should be designed in such a way that they will really replace the air and should not hinder in each other's working. Now, types of entrances: a single door system, double door system, maze type of entrance, then labyrinth and rotating door system. These are different doors. Now it is shown here how a darkroom light trap is there. Now if you can see here, the technician can come from this side, he can go inside here, from here he goes here. Here is a darkroom and here is the automatic processor. Now this is the second type, maze type. This is the labyrinth entrance. This is rotating door entrance. This is very easy to understand. Now, fire safety. Ideally, all darkroom should be provided with an alternative exit. So there should be two rooms for entrance and exit in case of fire safety. Now, we should be indicated clearly and left unobstructed at all the times. Now, darkroom illuminations: white lighting and safe lighting. Darkroom has got two functions. One thing is to function when you are processing films, and second, when you are cleaning or maintaining a darkroom. So it needs a white lighting, that is something like daylight, and second is safe light. These are required. Applications are different, but they are required. White lightening, as I told you, is meant for the non-processing time. When you are processing a film, it is not required. It is contraindicated. For inspection, maintenance of the cassette and screen, cleaning of the workspaces, work surfaces, servicing of the equipment, sight close to the ceiling, then moderate in intensity. The usual light which are preferred to 60 to 30 watt, that is a tungsten or fluorescent, then preferably centrally placed. More than one switch is preferred. Again, identification of respective switches is important, and they are usually adjacent to the door and technicians are aware of it. Now this is the safe light, another important thing. Now there are safe light can be divided: a direct safe light, a light from the safe light directly falls into the work surface, that is a beehive safe light. And here there is one risk of getting film fogged. For that you should keep a minimum distance of 1.2 meter from the working surfaces. Best for loading and uploading areas. because you can clearly see a cassette film and you can remove the film or you can load the film. For that you need a dark adaptation, number one, and the safe light has to be really a safe light for the films. Now indirect safe light. Indirect, direct the light towards the ceiling which reflects light back into the room. So the face of the light is angulated upwards. Now intended to provide general illumination of the dark room, then suspended about 2.1 meter above the flooring level. Now safe lamp for both direct as well as indirect illuminations, they are shown. But most of the places we use a direct light. Indirect is not used. Now, safe light filters. A sheet of gelatin dyed to the appropriate colors and sandwiched between the two sheets of a glass or texture. So a filter and a glass are the two constituency, and inside is the lamp. Now used in conjunction with a 25-watt lamp. Extreme of the heat and temperature deteriorates the filter gelatin and should be cleaned periodically. Now, how does a safe light work? Now, when the white light is passed through the colored filter, certain wavelength for colors are absorbed by the filters, while those wavelengths which correspond to the color of the filters will be transmitted. So certain color absorbed. Here you are seeing now yellow filter. What is happening is all the color except yellow color are filtered. Yellow color goes ahead, and second is the red light. So first is a filter for yellow, second is for the filter for red. Now making the correct selection of the safe light, matching the filter to the film means choosing a filter which will transmit a color to which the film is relatively responsive or it is not sensitive, while stopping all the light to the film to which it is sensitive. Now spectrum transmission graph. Now manufacturer produces a graph for their safe lights called as spectral transmission or filter transmission graphs. Their purpose is to indicate that the part of the visible spectrum which will be transmitted by the filter, and so that the radiographer is matching the appropriate filter to the type of film he is using. Now, panchromatic film presents a special problem since it will have color sensitivity extending as far as red end of the spectrum. So here it will be real tricky to select the filter. It is thus advisable to produce such film in complete darkness. So panchromatic film we need to process in a complete darkness, while other, depending on the sensitivity of the film, we can have a safe light. Now these are the spectral transmissions. Now, how safe is a safe light lighting? No safe light is completely safe. All films will become slightly fogged if exposed to the safe light for a long time. This is because safe light filters are not perfectly absorbed of the undesirable wavelengths, and in truth all the films have some sensitivity to all the wavelengths. So a blue based film will have some small sensitivity to some other wavelengths also. Thus the intensity of the illumination and the film handling time must be kept to a minimum if significant fogging is not to occur. What does it mean? The safety of safe light is not assured 100%. It will cause certain damage or fog if it is kept in that safe light for a longer time, because the reason we are told that sensitivity of the film, and second thing is sensitivity of the filter. Now if you do processing fast, the amount of time the film exposed to safe light will be small, and therefore it will not have much fog. Now effect of excessive safe light exposure, what it will do? Two principal features occur when the film is exposed to safe light for too long time: an increase in gross fog and overall loss of contrast. A film will become flat. This is the darkwood equipment. See how the safe lights are shown. Now automatic processor, manual processing unit, processing chemicals, hangers for the suspending film, cassette, film storage hopper, loading bench and cupboards, all are shown here. These are the hangers. Now a radiographer must be fast in putting the film to the hanger for a reason we have just now discussed, that it should expose to safe light also for as low time as possible. So he should be used to take out the film, put to the hanger and put to the processing. These are the cassettes. These are the film holder for the storage of unexposed films. Dry bench for loading, unloading, layout of a typical darkroom, ample storage and working space. Now door will have the safety. Now another aspect, health and safety in the processing area. Electrical safety, then general safety and chemical safety. Electrical safety, all the electrical equipment to be sited well away from sink and manual processing unit, because there is a risk of some water spilling over it. Then adequate earthing of all the electrical equipment, since it's a humid area, wet area. No trailing cables from the appliances. Then pull cord switches for lights. So the designing of darkroom also include where to put the connections for or switches, and which wires to put loose and which wire should not be put loose at all. Now general safety measures are maximum level of safe lighting. Light should be very safe. Then there should be adequate ventilation, and there should be 2 exit doors, one for the entrance and one for the exits. Now another hazards are the chemical hazards. Now processing chemical contain many toxic substances and must always be handled with care. Staff should always be aware of the harmful effects of the exposure to the chemicals and fumes to inhalation, ingestion or the skin contacts. So lot of time it happens that person is in a long time in a dark room, and if dark room is not properly ventilated, there will be an effect of these chemical inhalations. All the staff involved with the handling of the film chemistry should be regularly advised to read product label and mixing instructions before handling the solution. Each and every chemical boxes it is written. Now safety glasses, face mask, rubber gloves, plastic apron should be available within the processing area. Now, control of the substances hazard to the health. Now that there is a regulation act which is called the 1988 Act. Make it clear that employers have a responsibility insofar as reasonably practicable to prevent adequate control exposure to fumes and chemical using measure other than personal protective equipments. Most important here what we feel is the ventilation. Now we have seen the types of processing manually in part 1, then manually automatic processor in part 2, and not only that, how a darkroom should be designed, how a safe light is to be designed, what should be the location of safe light, how should be the distance of the safe light from the loading desk, what can happen as a hazard, what can be the chemical hazard, what should be the ventilation, how the exhaust fans, ACs should be fitted, how the light electric hazard should be prevented, how the earthing should be proper to the equipment, and not the least and very very important, needs to be checked periodically. This has to be checked periodically. Now in this part we have seen all these darkroom designs, radiation hazards, radiation protections, then darkroom point of view, what should be the safety measures. They are important to know. I totally agree that most of the darkroom today are replaced with a CR or DR, and these darkrooms are existing at very very few spaces. Nevertheless, it was a technique popular once upon a time and was in a use, so we must know it. And if it happens that we have to work in such darkrooms, we should be well aware with the chemicals, the process, the safety measures, the designing of the darkroom, and the discipline what we should keep and what is the maintenance we should take. With all these things, we are coming to our lecture number 2. In lecture 1 and lecture 2, we have covered basics of the physics involved in radiography. Now this was mainly targeted, or mainly it was intended to give this idea to technicians as well as technologists boys, that is medical imaging technologies. So also a radiologist should know, must know, because ultimately film reading is going to be done by a radiologist, and a radiologist must have a good quality of film. So if he knows all about this, he can be able to detect the faults in the dark room and rectify them. With this, I thank you for giving me your valuable time. Please note, radiology is not a race, it's a process. Be a part of it and enjoy the feast of knowledge. Dr. Anil Joshi, Logzo, till we meet again. Go to the depth of knowledge, learn the basics, see how artifacts are produced, and see how a best quality film not only can be produced, but how to preserve them for a long time without being getting damaged. So what are the precautions to be taken are all listed here. With this, we are saying, do your best. We'll meet again with the next video. Take care.